Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you saw the previous video. We have completed all our hydrometeorological disasters. In today's lecture, we are going to start our biological disaster. In this biological disaster, first disaster is forest fire. So, what is forest fire? Or we can say wildfire. Okay. So, the this word wildfire originated as a synonym for a Greek fire, or we can say like a substance used in medieval Europe as a naval weapon. Okay, so forest actually faces many hazards, but the most common hazard is fire. They pose a threat. They pose a threat not only the fire wealth but also the entire regime of fauna and flora, seriously disturbing the biodiversity and the ecology and the environment of a region. Okay, during the summer, when there is no rain for the months, the forest becomes the littered with the dry season leaves and twigs, which would burst into the flames ignited by the slightest, even the slightest spark. Okay, in this Indian region, the Himalayan forest, particularly the Gherwal Himalayas of Uttaranchal state, have been burning regularly during the few summers, with colossal loss of vegetation cover that region. Now, forest fire can be either natural or to be controlled or caused by the heat generated in the litter, or we can say the summer through the clearness of people. Okay, human neglected. Actually, we can say the term is human neglected. Sometimes the forest fire are intentionally or purposely caused by the local inhabitant for their selfish motives. Okay, now there are some causes for the forest fire. So forest fire are not unusual phenomenon. They occur regularly, especially in summer throughout the world. The forest fire can broadly be classified into the three categories. Which are these three categories? First one is natural or we can say controlled forest fire. Second one is forest fire caused by the heat generated in litter or other biomes in summer through carelessness of people. And the third one is forest fire purposely caused by the local inhabitants. So these are the main three purpose, or we can say three categories of this forest fire. If so, the many forest fire start from the natural causes like such as lightning, which set trees on fire, and periodically lightning induces fire have been recorded throughout the history from India, southeastern and central United States, Australia, Finland, eastern and southern Africa. Most forest fire are the result of human neglected caused by the causal throwing the uh, you can say smoldering. Okay, smoking. You can say cigar or BD. Okay, this can be caused the spark or we can say pickner. Okay, pickner means आग लगाने वाला. Okay, so these are the mainly cause for the we can say forest fire. Okay, now after the causes, there are the some types of forest fire. So what are the types of forest fire? So forest fire can be differ depending upon upon his nature, size, spreading speed, and behavior. Okay, so the forest fire can be depend on which parameters: nature, size, spreading speed, or behavior. Basically, this can be subgrouped into the four types of depending upon their nature. Okay, and size. So, what are the source for these kind of categorization? So, our NIDM, or we can say Natural Disaster Management in India, NDIM division, okay, Government of India. So these are the source. So the first one is first type of this fire, forest fire is underground fire. As you can see here in the picture, underground fire is the fire of low intensity consuming the organic matter beneath and the surface litter or the we can say forest floor is subgrouped as the underground fire. In the most of the dense forest occurring in the wetter part of Himalayas, a thicker mantle of organic matter is found on the top of mineral soil. This fire spread in by consuming the such materials. This fire usually spread entirely underground and burn for some meters below the surface and spread very slowly, and in most cases it becomes very hard to detect and control such type of fire. The underground fire may continue to burn for a month or destroy the vegetation cover of the soil, and the other terminology for this type of fire is muck fires, while in some countries it is referred as the ground fire. Okay? So this is all about the underground fire. Now second type is surface fire. As you can see in the picture, surface fire is the most common forest fire that burns undergrowth or dead material along the floor of the forest. In general, it is very useful for the forest growth and regeneration. If grows in size of this fire is not only burns the ground flora but also result in the engulf of undergrowth and the middle story of the forest. Surface fire spread by flaming combustion through the fuels at or we can say near the surface grass, dead and down limbs, forest needle and leaf litter or we can say debris from harvesting or land clearing. Thus the surface fire is a we can say a fire that burns surface litter, other loose debris for the forest floor and the small vegetation. This is most common type of fire in timber stand of all species. It may be mild, low energy fire in the space grass and the pine needle litter, or it may be very hot, fast moving fire where slash flammable under the storage tubs or other abundant fuel prevails. A surface fire, if spread, may burn up to the taller vegetation and trees crown as it is progresses. Okay, so this is all about the surface fire. There are the another types of fire here. Third one fire is known as the ground fire. As you can see in the picture, there is no clear distinction between the underground and ground fire. The smoldering for sometimes underground fire changes into the ground fire, and the fire burns root and other material or beneath the surface. In example, burns the herbaceous growth on the forest floor together with the layer of organic matter in various stage of decay. They are more damaging than surface fires, and they can destroy vegetation completely. These fires are fires in subsurface organic fuels such as the duff layers underground forest and Arctic tundra or we can say taiga and organic soils of swamp or bogs. A ground fires burns underneath the surface by smoldering combustion and are the most often ignited by the surface fire. Thus, a ground fire consumes the organic material beneath the surface litter of the forest floor, and fighting such fire is a very difficult or we can say the tedious job. So this is the ground fire. Next one is crown fire. This is the crown fire. So crown fire is the most unpredictable fire which burns the top of the trees and spread rapidly by the wind. In the most cases, surface fire invariably ignites this fire. Thus, the crown fire is a fire that advances from top of the top of tree or shrub more or less independently of the surface fire. In a dense gunfire, stand on the step slope or on the level ground with a brisk wind. The crown fire may race ahead the supporting surface fire. This is most spectacular kind of the forest fire since it is over the heads of the ground force the uncontrollable until it again drops to the ground. And since it is usually fast moving, it poses the grave danger to the firefighters becoming the trapped or burned. Okay, so this is all about the ground fire. Last one is firestorm. So among the forest fire, the fires spreading most rapidly are firestorm, which is an intense fire over a large area, as you can see in the picture. As the fire burns, heat rises and air rushes in, causing the fire to grow. More air makes the fire spin violently like a storm. Flames fly out from the base and the burning embers to the top of the fiery twister and starting smaller fire around it. Temperature inside this storm can be reach around the 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. So firestorm is the most dangerous fire, or we can say most dangerous uh, forest fire. Okay. So this is all about the types of the forest fire. Now, as you know, we always discuss the what to do and what not to do before and during the disaster. So here we also discuss about what do and what not to do before and during the fire. So first of all, what to do? Try to maintain forest block to prevent dry litter from the forest during the summer season. So which this is what we can do. Next one is try to put fire out by digging or circle around it by the water. If not possible to call the fire brigade. Third one is what to do. Move farm animals or movable goods to the safer place. Next one is during the fire, listen regularly to radio for advance information and obey the instruction from there. Okay. Next one is forest officials, local people, and tribal living in the forest should play a constructive role before, during, and after the fire of the forest. Okay. Next one is follow the effective monitoring and warning system, including the remote sensing for curing and drying out the vegetation. The next one is teach the cause and harm of fire to your family or other, and do not be scared when a sudden fire occurred in the forest. Be calm, encourage other and community to overcome the problem patiently, and the do not do apply seasonal mitigation measures. Example of this seasonal mitigation measure is fuel reduction. Okay. And what one should not do, here I cannot include that slide. I'm sorry for that, but I ask you what should not to do. Okay. One should not throw smoldering cigarette butt or we can say BD in the forest. Second one is do not leave the burning wood sticks. Third one is don't enter the forest during the fire. Next one is do not leave the dry litter during summer season. The last one is tribal should not use the slash or burn method indiscriminately on the large scale. Okay, so uh, we should not to do this kind of thing if we want to cure from the forest fire. Okay, so this is all about the biological disaster forest fire. Now, in the next lecture, we will cover the epidemics in the biological disaster. So, till then, you must subscribe my channel, hit the like button, and also press the bell icon as well. Okay. See you in the next lecture. Till then, जय हिंद।